And you feel, Andrew, if they can just break that bubble, get that first win, then they can maybe start to roll.
Yeah, they've already shown they have the ability to get on a roll this season. And when you're looking for your first ACC win, you're playing on the road. What better way to start than with an ace? And Claire Luma. Her 12th ace of the season. Sophomore from Wisconsin. And a block for the Tigers. Courtney Bryant got the swing, and Nil Okur with the block.
Yeah, and if you're playing the Wolfpack, you've circled Courtney Bryant on your card and your scouting report, because she's someone, almost 4 kills a set. She's someone who can lead this team. You want to be on her anytime the Wolfpack's out of system.
Good pass from Clara Vondren. First swing for Dorsey, and Okur gets a touch to it.
Wow. Great drive shot by McGrath there, going high hands. We just mentioned the blocking, Andrew, and the Wolfpack have been having really strong net presence on their own right, so to go high hands and get a tool early, setting the tone.
Mia McGrath, the senior from Deerfield, Illinois, went over 800 career kills a week ago against North Carolina. And again, with Kennedy Wagner out, McGrath, their number 2 in terms of kills on the season, is the go-to arm on the pan, and NC State gets on the board.
Yeah, you're giving up about 6 inches between McGrath and Frankum there. Frankum, that was kind of easy pickings for that joust.
Talia Frankum in the middle for NC State. They are without Haley McFadden, their freshman middle from Denver, North Carolina tonight. So it's Lily Cropper. They're also without Sophie Groom, who has not played this year and is expected a redshirt coming off an ACL injury that she suffered, as Cropper played that ball on the Clemson side. So both Sophie Groom, and there the 2 are, Haley McFadden, both unavailable. It'll be Cropper and it'll be Frankum in the middle for NC State tonight.
Well, for Cropper, she played a little last year. She's got experience. She's someone who's been in that spot.
So both teams, coach, banged up at this point in the season.
Yeah, and that's very common because it's a grueling season, Andrew. With all the play in the preseason, they had a longer preseason to prepare as well. So it's really kind of a war of attrition at this point.
You see NC State able to execute its offense for the first time, and Courtney Bryant has been, when it hasn't been Rebecca Rink stepping up, she's been really the constant this year as the veteran number 1 option for them on the outside.
She really has.
Better than 3 kills per set for the senior from Hardy, Virginia. Good dig there by Lorna Kerr, and Bryant again cashes in.
And I love the court vision we're seeing from Bryant right now. She tooled the block on her last swing. She saw that the middle back player is playing in the 6 zone in the middle of the court. So if you can go high hands down the line, that's an effective shot right now.
It's a great look at it. Off the hands of Cade Hansen. Clemson able to score. Lead back to 2 as McGrath puts it down.
This early in the match, both teams are kind of peppering the court. They're testing the defense. They're seeing if what they saw in film and in their scouting is going to hold true, or if there's other places they can score.
Clara Vondren out of the back row. Luma digs it out, set across to McGrath. Elaisa Villar dumps it over on 2. Villar with options goes to Cropper, and someone was in the net. It was McGrath of Clemson.
Yeah, McGrath is giving up quite a bit of length as a blocker to these middles of the Wolfpack. You think about the height and the length that they're hitting. She's trying to max jump just a little bit too close to the net. Didn't give herself enough room.
So Bryant back to the service line for NC State. After Clemson started 3-0, Pack cut into 1, and the Tigers are able to set their middle. Kate Symington.
Yeah, really great tempo here from Symington. We haven't seen a true first tempo swing yet, first of the match for the Tigers. The last time she had the tip. But if they can get those middles involved, that could really help them extend their lead.
NC State with a rebuttal, and both teams having some success going to their middles.
Yeah, and if you notice the blocking scheme here, look at Symington just kind of hanging out in the middle, waiting to read, but the tempo is so fast. Back to her left, she cannot counter and get over there. So slide attacks with that speed are going to be one-on-one.
That's what NC State likes to call pack fast, when they are clicking just out off the shoulder of Katie Herta. And NC State able to tie it up. But that's the tempo they want to run things at when things are ideal.
Yeah, it's very difficult to defend when you're running that quick a tempo to the pins and you've got that many hitters en route.
And a miscommunication, Symington and the setter, Catherine Sant. That ball falls. First-year head coach Megan Wargo-Kearney was the associate head coach, recruiting coordinator, last 5 years for NC State. We mentioned a little short in the middles tonight. Also without Ashley Mullen again. And they have been running a 6-2. She has been out, and so speaking of being banged up, Mullen has missed the last 5 matches, not dressed out tonight, so 6 in a row, and they've had to adjust and go to a 5-1 with Villar setting. And they've gotten a couple ACC wins in the mix, Florida State and Wake Forest. Kerr lets that one go, but it's another Clemson ace.
And that's not surprising at all if you know the history of Villar and what she brings to this team. She brings the juice, she brings the moxie, and she rallies everyone behind her to elevate play. So even though she wasn't leading the show right from jump, they were in the 6-2, but going to 5-1 with her, not surprising the team's playing so well.
And we've got a great feature on her later. She was mic'd up this week in practice. So stick around for that. We'll play that for you later on in the broadcast. McGrath comes flying out of the back row, no touch. And the point to the Wolfpack.
I love that play call because so far in the match, you're going to have a single block from the Wolfpack against that pipe set with tempo. So if Clemson can generate some offense, which has been an issue the last couple of matches, they haven't hit over 150 hitting percentage. So they need to generate points. That could be a little wrinkle that they throw in more.
Second touch by the libero, McKenna Gildon. Point Wolfpack. Yeah, you mentioned the struggles, and some of that is missing Wagner. Some of that, of course, is just the caliber of opponents they've been playing. But one way or another, they're looking to find their way here tonight against an NC State team that's at 2-4. Look, there's 7 ACC teams that are 2-4. So they're looking to create some separation.
A little logjam in the middle of the standings, and these are the kinds of matches that you need to win to elevate and kind of break those ties and keep with that upper third of the pack.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's looking for moral victories, right? But when you're playing a team that's in the top 10, you understand it's a great opportunity for an upset. But you know victories are going to be hard to come by. That's just the reality. But if you're playing because the top of the league is so good, you almost look at every other opportunity as even more about, hey, this is kind of must win for us.
Yeah, it's going to bear fruit probably later. You're not going to see it in the short term when you're playing that high of a schedule and your program isn't used to being in that same conversation. But it will bear fruit because if you can have the score reflect the ability and kind of be in those sets, right? You got swept 0-3, but if it's 25-20, 25-21, 25-18, you're competing. And that's something you can build on.
Good communication from Gildon, calls him off, and Clemson, oh, I thought there was a touch. And the initial ruling is point inch.
And now we're tied at 10, so when you break the set down into first to 5, first to 10, first to 15, now we're in that third range. Who's going to be the first to 15 will be in the driver's seat.
Heard the call from the R2, Michael O'Connor tonight. Randy McLam is the R1. Clemson started off on a 3-0 spurt when Luma was serving. Now back behind the service line. And a block from McGrath.
Yeah, and that ball came on their side. That's a good tool shot. Really, if you have any space between your body and the net, then it's going to get exposed at this level. And the way that Dorsey's been playing, you referenced it in the open, she's been on fire for the last week. She sees those little cracks, she's going to expose it.
Sydney Daniels serving for NC State. How about that athletic set from Catherine Sant?
Oh my. Nil Okur, the middle for Clemson, elevates. She look at the shoulder drive, and she went so fast in that approach. Boy, about the only way you can slow that down is make a great read and commit block. It's so fast.
How about the energy and the passion you saw from Clemson after the swing from Okur? They take the next point, too, to get back in the lead.
That's the great thing about this sport. If someone can make a great play, a great defensive play, a power kill, an overpass kill, a powerful stuff block in a key moment, that can give your team a lot of juice.
It's pretty nice there from Clara Vondren. Not a great pass from Bryant, and Vondren gives her a chance to attack, and she does.
Yeah, great to see her get in a good rhythm here early as Bryant puts that ball down.
Courtney Bryant, 3 kills already. Service error. Both these teams good behind the service line.
Yeah, both teams so far have been passing well, so it may actually tip the scale. Which team can assert service pressure, get the other team out of system a little bit, more in the next few points, because so far both these teams have been in the system a lot.
Serve from Patty Raines. And McGrath tallies her 4th kill on her 10th swing.
And I wonder, looking at the rotational matchups, because, teams tend to start the same rotations week to week, especially if you scouted in the last couple of matches. If it was intentional for Coach Keir to put McGrath on Villar, because that's the rotation or the matchup we see for 2 rotations. You've got a smaller front row setter, smaller blocker against McGrath, which is a little bit of a smaller attacker. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of this set.
And that is something to watch for, because NC State, for the most part, has just played Villar. However, a redshirt freshman Alyssa Forelli, who is 6 foot, is their other setter with Mullen out. She has come in and played in some big spots, including in their 5-set comeback win over.
Challenge is 1. Great serve.
Sant goes over on 2. Dug out. Just deep from ring. So Clemson is the first to 15. That'll take us to our media timeout.
A couple of wins and start to climb out of that muck, if you will.
McGrath had to play it. She'll roll it over from the back row, and another chance here for the Wolfpack ring. That ball was touched at the net. Villar moves Cropper out of the way. And Clemson with a big block. Symington fired up.
That first swing to start the rally from ring didn't look like she had great contact, and then just trying to pepper the court, switch up her shot. I'm not sure I would go into the teeth of the block right there with Symington.
An overpass.
Yep.
And NC State in the net.
Both teams with 3 blocks right now, but it just feels like Clemson's blocks have come at appropriate times to extend their lead and keep some momentum on their side.
McGrath will set this time. Herta just had to tip it over, but a poor swing here. And the Tigers have opened up a 4-point lead. And NC State will burn. Playing a big role. Had 3 kills in each of their matches last weekend. NC State really needed a point coming out of that timeout, and they get it. And they will bring in Forelli for the first time. Backup setter. So, quick adjustment we're seeing from the NC State coaching staff. Cropper to serve. Good pass, starts it off. It's a good dig for Bryant. And she's their only 6 rotation player. Had a double-double against the Tigers in a sweep win last year. And Bryant starts the offense, ring finishes.
And right now, Clemson has to make an adjustment. That's 7 kills, 7 off the top of the block on the right side going line.
Wow. Look at Symington. NC State does get it back over. Will they set her again? Yes. 3rd time's the charm.
Absolutely love the combination that they ran there in transition. The swing before that, Andrew, you had Symington going all the way to the pin for the slide. Then what do they do in transition on the free ball? She executes like she's going slide, cuts it off short for the back one. Totally faked out Rebecca Ring, who was going out to block for the slide. That's a heads-up play during a long rally.
Keep in mind, Symington coming in as Clemson picks up another point. Pushes the lead back up to 4. Symington coming in only had 29 kills on the year. So the impact here in the first set has been huge. Playing there in the middle along with Okur.
Sometimes it goes that way if you haven't had many opportunities to this point, and all of a sudden you're feeling a rhythm, you're kind of in the zone. You can really pop off offensively because you've been looking for these opportunities. Now, tooling the outside block has been the one thing that has kept the Wolfpack in this set. Good serve, better pass.
Villar back in. There is Okur. So again, missing Kennedy Wagner since the early part of October. Yes, you've gotten some more attacking from McGrath, but look, if the passing's good enough, you can use your middles to give you a little extra jolt offensively. We've seen that.
We really have, and Clemson does a great job of running different routes, different quick tempo routes with different personnel. So they're not a vanilla offense coming at you. Blockers have to use their eye sequencing, really call out their hitters, and pay attention of what they're seeing if you want to block well against this Clemson Tiger team.
Symington and Okur, 5 kills in the first set. This time Herta picks up the kill. That'll lead to the second and final timeout of the set for NC on the outside going line. Not really getting a whole lot outside of that offensively. Jordan Smith is in. They go to Talia Frankum in the middle, and that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. Need some other offensive option other than the outside.
Exactly right. And it's no surprise coming out of that timeout that the first set goes to the middle just to give Clemson a different look. NC State's hitting under 150 right now, or just now over with that last kill. But it's because they haven't generated any point scoring opportunities from anyone other than the left sides.
That set was tight. Herta had it sent back. Free ball. Zuzia Maciejewicz bumps it across. NC State can't score on it, but another free ball. Villar with options. It is Smith. Another freshman phenom for the Wolfpack.
And about 5 or 6 swings since we come out of the timeout, and how many of those swings went to the left side? 0. So that was obviously a talking point and probably a much needed one. And now you look at the run that you're on.
Sant will try Herta and gets the momentum back on the Clemson side.
At that time, Herta a little deceptive. She hit that ball on the way down, timing her swing, and so the block was just a little bit late. Good swing by number 9.
Again, NC State in system. Goes to the middle.
Yeah, these are the small little cat and mouse tactical things that happen within a volleyball match. Clemson needs to recognize that the Wolfpack's going toward the middle on the right side, and their block needs to respond accordingly.
Associate head coach Jeremiah Ganadakis runs the NC State offense, but no offense to be run here on the service error. And a crucial one gives Clemson set point. Now keep in mind, yes, the Tigers have been on a losing streak. They haven't won a set in their last 16 in the ACC. Point away from taking the first one here. And NC State fights off the first set point.
Just a little bit of a teaser there, Andrew, but sure, it's...
And again, they've been playing a real quality strength of schedule to start ACC play. It's been a gauntlet. But seeking their first win, I think it would mean a lot for them to win set one, especially considering it's been sweep, sweep, sweep recently. There it is. And the Tigers played very well in the first set. They take the first set. Impressive. Best start since 1999. That included SEC wins over South Carolina and Georgia. Bryant with probably the easiest kill she'll get tonight.
Just like you draw it up, but credit Vonner with a phenomenal serve. We mentioned how service pressure could turn the tide here. So to come out of the break firing like that, see if she can follow it up.
Good dig by McKenna Gildon. One of the ACC's best. Okur sent that one back across the net. Bodrin out of the back. Maybe the best rally we've had so far tonight. McGrath puts it into it.
Boy, and that's just a case of the ball being a little bit underset, but it allowed her to hit the angle inside the block. So many good things in that rally, so many good defensive plays. We saw Sant save the ball at the net, stay out of the net.
Gildon serves into the net.
And you just wonder how the first set played out. NC State can raise their level. They didn't really click offensively in the first set. We expect that to start to turn the tide here in set two. This could really swing either way.
It has been, and maybe this is because of youth. The NC State coaching staff doesn't like to use the word young and talk about how young the reality is this team is. But with all the freshmen playing key roles, this team has been, when they've been playing at their best, more than competitive, been able to win, come back. They have been a little inconsistent. It kind of comes with, it's kind of to be expected when you have so little experience in this league.
In any team sport, when you've got a lot of youth, a lot of inexperience, you think about rookie quarterbacks, rookie point guards, then what's going to happen? You're going to go through some of those growing pains. They have to learn to compete in different situations when the pressure's on and facing different looks. That takes a little bit of time, but if you're an NC State fan, you have to love what you're seeing so far because there are a lot of great pieces.
And the freshman George Smith, who has played a big role at times this season. In fact, coming into this match, second on the team in kills. Despite the fact that Dorsey's been playing so well recently, Smith hasn't been playing as much. We saw Dorsey in the first set. They shake things up and giving Smith an opportunity here. And she's played well so far. Also, I don't want to overlook the fact, Coach, that you mentioned rookie quarterbacks. For those of you listening, Coach is a Giants fan, so he's all in on Jackson Dart right now.
Go Big Blue. I feel like the cloud of the last decade is starting to dissipate.
Look,
getting some sunshine coming through.
Dart's fun to watch, but I think everybody else enjoying Cam Scattaboo.
I'm glad they're both on our team.
A joust won by Sant. Point continues. No touch. Point Wolfpack.
Boy, and a heads-up play by Villar, getting her hand out of the way, recognizing that McGrath was going for the wipe shot at the end of that rally and just diving inside And on that set, outside hitters are trained to wipe off the outside hand. Just a heads-up play there by 31.
Short serve from Lorna Kerr, and Sant goes over with the left hand.
And in the 5-1 offense, front row setters can be that third attacker in the front row. And if you can time things well and keep the defense guessing, it opens things up for other attackers.
Catherine Sant was the setter of the tournament at the Big Orange Bash. A nice play there. Good job by Clara Vondren. Keeps it alive. Bryant crushed it.
How about the defensive play by Vondren to lay out, not only get this ball to the front court, but then Cropper with hands of gold setting Bryant on the outside. You know, and that was a thing we'd always tease in our gym. Middle blockers hate the transition a lot of times. They want to set, and if the ball's right there, they want to dish. They want to be the new setter.
Oh, my goodness. What effort from Catherine Sant. Cropper, a second opportunity, a third. Boy, Clemson defended so well on that point, but NC State right now with all the momentum. Timeout, Tigers.
Now you work so hard for a point, and to have it go against you. 3 over dig or overpass opportunities there for the Wolfpack.
Are here in set 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple recipe. If you point score double what your opponent is, you're probably going to be in the driver's seat. So far, NC State has cured their offensive ills of set 1.
But this is where they did have a lot of success in set 1. On this near side with Rebecca Ring and Courtney Bryant. This time it's Ring.
Yeah, they just made an adjustment. I mean, you have a couple of overpass kill opportunities. That helps get momentum, but they're serving tough. They're transitioning harder. They're really trying to turn the tide.
That tough serve leads almost directly to a block. And this is where you see, you highlighted at the very start before a point was played this set, you said, you know, NC State can step up its level. We have seen them do that so far. Just does sneak over for Herta.
Wow. How impressive is Rebecca Ring when NC State was a little out of sorts in that out-of-system play. They were a little late communicating who was going to set the ball. The ball's underset a little bit inside, but it doesn't matter. Ring still finds the seam and finds the floor. Just impressive stuff from the freshman.
And an ace. Courtney Bryant with the ace. And Clemson wants to talk things over again. You see when this NC State side is firing on all cylinders. Pretty good.
Well, we've mentioned it before. They have the tools and the personnel. Even being down with a few injuries, they are still operating at high clip. That just goes back to good culture, good coaching, and you still have playmakers at the key positions that you can weather those storms. You know, Clemson in the 5-1, they've run a couple of plays out of serve receive, Andrew, that I just question. Running middle quicks against a double block, not spreading the block and things of that nature. If they can switch up what they run offensively out of serve receive, especially in those two-hitter rotations, I think they have a better opportunity. A little collision here.
Yeah, Addie Raines, we're shaking it off, saying she's all right.
Yeah, she looks none the worse for wear. A Munciana Volleyball Club alum. And
yeah, that one hurt. Got a shoulder right there. That's when you say, ooh, when you saw it.
Any volleyball fan who's familiar with Munciana Volleyball Club, they know how hard they train in that gym. So many national championships. She's going to shake that off.
One of the many seniors from last year that NC State is replacing, Jada Allen from Fishers, Indiana, and played for Munciana, which is such a great club.
Yep. Phenomenal training there. Good read by Kerr on the setter dump. Easy pickup. Good transition. And don't look now, Andrew, but the middles for the Wolfpack are quietly starting to creep up toward that 500 hitting percentage.
Herta gets involved.
Boy, she's needed that. She's a little bit hot and cold so far in the match, but if Herta can start taking aggressive swings and point score, just opens things up for the Tigers.
Just does trickle over the net. Just how the Wolfpack drew it up.
Yeah, we would always tell attackers, if you're going to attack out of the back row and you're going to go off speed, it better score, because otherwise it is a free ball to the opponent. But just have that miscommunication, have the ball drop in the middle of the campfire. That's one the Tigers would love to have back.
Francom and Smith physical on the right side.
Yeah, and I'll go back to that previous play one more time, because when you have a miscommunication ball hit the floor, I'm a firm believer, Andrew, that it's worth more than 1 point.
Okay.
I think it puts you on your heels for 2 or 3 points, because everyone is still thinking, oh, that stinks. We should have had an opportunity. You know, the Wolfpack let them off the hook there with that service error, but Clemson desperately needs to get a little bit of swagger, a little bit of momentum back on their side before the set ends. If they can come back and get close within striking distance, great. But the bigger thing for the match is they need to start getting a little bit more momentum on their side.
Well, we saw a lot of that from them. And trying to go line there, and Tigers will take it on a miss, on an attack error. We saw a lot of that juice, that energy. They played with passion in the first set.
And they took care of those.
Regather some of that.
Yeah, they took care of those easy plays and point scoring opportunities, a couple of overpass putaways, things of that nature.
Cover there by Kate Hansen. But Francom this time combines with Ring for the stuff.
Yeah, now we're getting to a point in the match where when Clemson is out of system, they're very predictable. They do not have a player in the back row that's going to attack out of the pipe. And in a 2-hitter rotation in the front row, you pretty much have the left side hitter, and that's all. So that player has a lot of pressure to switch up their shots, to be smart of going high hands or find the seams. If you're just swinging into the teeth of the block, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah. And head coach Megan Wargo-Kearney said, what a dig by Maciejewicz. What are you saying, Coach? If you go soft out of the back row, it better score.
It better score.
Mondren does.
And if you're a left front blocker, so in this case McGrath, you have no defensive responsibilities but to go get that tip. I think that's an adjustment the off blockers for Clemson need to make the next time Vonderen swings from the back row.
Clemson able to connect in the middle this time with O'Kerr and beat the solo with Francom. Just to finish that point, Coach Wargo-Kearney said Francom has a chance to be one of the best blockers to ever play here at NC State. Her ceiling is that high, just naturally a great blocker coming in. And we have seen her again with Groom and McFadden being out. NC State a little thin in the middle, but Cropper and Francom playing well, particularly here in set number 2, and a massive lead for the Wolfpack. Deep serve for Daniels. McGrath couldn't be sure. When in doubt, got to play it. It leads to a free ball.
Yeah, really late block by Hansen there. If you're a right front blocker and you see that 31 coming, you got to slide over right away and get the hands up quick. Easy tool target there as 19 was just late coming over.
Sant tries the right side for Hansen.
Tight set. I had to revisit your point on Francom. I don't think you can overstate how important a freshman middle blocker coming in, accepting that role and producing. She's in the top 10 in the ACC in blocks per set. So she's getting it done.
And ace for the Tigers.
This is exactly what Clemson needs, just to get a little bit more swagger back on their side, get a little momentum, close this gap.
Good to see Raines able to shake off. Again, that shoulder she took.
Just another day in the Muncie gym. Another tool kill by Bryant. And when in doubt, if you need to squash any momentum that Clemson might be getting, set the left side and have them tool the block. That has been the recipe for success so far tonight for NC State when they needed a point.
Tough serve. Same with options. Cropper was ready for it. Call their own number, then goes to McGrath. That'll work off the Wolfpack block.
Yeah, are you noticing a trend here, Andrew? McGrath is having success when Villar is front row. When Villar is back row, McGrath is getting blocked a lot of the time. So the setter stance, she needs to recognize that and set the hitters in those blocking matchups. That give them the best opportunity to point score.
We've seen Vondran have success there, not this time. Still a big lead for the Wolfpack, but as you said, it could pay dividends for the Tigers to cut into it, to get some momentum, but no stopping the slide at Lily Cropper.
Yeah, great rhythm. Look at the knee drive and the shoulder load. That ball is coming on Raines in a hurry. A right back player for Clemson. Just a little bit late getting into position and getting settled. But credit the tempo from Villar, and that setter-hitter connection is firing on all cylinders right now with Cropper.
Symington does well just to keep it up. Forelli now setting.
Yeah, I'm not keeping an official tally, but I would assume that every free ball Clemson has given NC State, they've converted. And there's been at least, there's been at least 4 or 5 in this set.
Well, you mentioned Clemson having some success when Villar's front row, so put in the freshman, and it immediately pays dividends. Set point Wolfpack.
Great blocking sub. Another free ball.
All right, free ball. You said they're batting 1,000. And it continues on a net violation. Well, after
This league, because those should be gimmies.
you're supposed to.
Exactly.
Back underway out of the intermission, and well, more of the same for NC State.
Now the middles for Clemson need to identify that this is a game plan, and why they had so much success in set 2. Really got to track those middles.
Sometimes you talk about forcing the opponent to defend the entire net, all 30 feet.
Sure.
And early on, it was so left side dominant. But right about, really, I mean, to no surprise, you know what you're talking about, Coach. But when you highlighted, hey, it's been a little too heavy on that side, timeout NC State, and the variance has been the variety, and Clemson is having to defend every inch of that net.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. The last thing you want to do is be predictable, especially on your home court against an opponent you feel you should beat.
Hansen tips it in, and a great reaction after that kill.
He walked the tightrope there to stay out of the net. Really athletic play to not be in the net. This is a really tight set, and all she could do.
The reaction was like, ooh, that was close.
Yeah.
It was good play. And a big stop.
Wow. At that time, maybe a little overthinking from Smith. She's one-on-one. Thinks she's got a little bit of the seam, but there's no need to cut it that sharp when you have one-on-one, especially with McGrath kind of jumping out. Gets her twice.
And McGrath again, but NC State able to react to it and score off of it. I thought McGrath had second block at 2 points.
That looked like so did she, but
Oh, that's Frankham with the pickup.
Yeah, just in this game, things happen so fast. You have a couple of those ping pong opportunities, and whichever team can really kind of take out the trash and survive those junk plays has a little bit of an edge. Another tight ball out of system there, and you know, it can't go without saying, when you're playing at this level and in this league, how you handle the out-of-system situations dictates a lot. If you can get swings in those opportunities, you're probably in the upper echelon of the league. If you're struggling to get consistent swings out of system and you're more error-prone or have bad setting, tight sets, you're going to struggle more.
Great effort from Gildon to keep it alive.
Wow. That's the shot I think Jordan Smith wanted 2 swings ago.
Right.
And just didn't quite get the angle. And that shot's going to be there. We're seeing a lot of one-on-one blocking with anything tempo on the right side for the Wolfpack.
Smith did not play much in the first set, but had 4 kills on 5 swings in the second set. That's her 5th kill of the match. Wolfpack with a 1-point lead. McGrath goes off the high hands. Sant goes middle, and Symington, who played so well in that first set, misses.
Yeah, and I think she thought there was going to be a double block with a front row setter. She saw Lily Cropper across from her, but Cropper elected not to jump. Maybe she saw the tip showed early. I'm sure Symington wants that one back. She's at her best when she's assertive and swinging. Oh, the left hand.
Talk about shot variety.
Tight ball. Well, Santa's not afraid to challenge those jousts.
No touch. Point Wolfpack. Now the Tigers were asking for one. It'll be interesting here. They did challenge successfully earlier.
Yeah.
That earlier one, I thought there was a touch. Here, I did not. Let's see. We got a great look here on our slow-mo.
Ooh, maybe the pinky, the outside hand of Villar.
Oh, you see Elaisa Villar saying, no, no, coach. Clemson not going to challenge. That was really close. Villar goes back row. Missed it.
Yeah, that swing from Vondren and the swing prior from McGrath that we saw the replay of, both of those sets were a little too low. I think the setters are trying to get tempo, trying to get one-on-one opportunities, but you got to give your hitters an ability to swing.
McGrath sails the serve. Just the 3rd service error for Clemson. I thought that key juncture of the first set, NC State kind of struggled to pass against the Clemson service. Obviously, hit nearly 500 in the second set. Did not struggle to pass at all. And they've now doubled up Clemson here in the 3rd.
Yeah, Clemson is falling into a trap of, if the middles aren't scoring, now what do you have? Both of the pin hitters are hitting less than 60%, 0.06. So their pin hitters, their left side hitters, have got to elevate and do a better job in their opportunities if Clemson's going to have any hope of coming back into this set.
How about that? One-on-one. Katie Herta.
Yeah, that set hung inside just a little bit. It wasn't quite as fast as Cropper was expecting. She had to slow down to attack, and that's never a good thing when you're a slide hitter.
Okur got a touch.
Yep. Heads up play there And a great swing on the left side, recognizing no libero on the court in that moment. Yet Symington serving. She was playing the left back spot. Got to take advantage when you see Big 15 back there.
Ring, the freshman from Madison, Wisconsin. Her sister, Natalie, older sister, an outside hitter at Marquette.
Wow.
Gildon keeps it alive. Herta puts it away. Just Coach Keir loves it.
Great defensive play. Selling out. Look at the transition. Boy, and that's what you need to do to spark some momentum back on your side in a match like this. Make great defensive plays and follow it up. There's another one.
Back-to-back impact plays. McKenna Gildon. Teammates call her Gil.
So often, Andrew, great defensive plays can fuel your offense. If your backcourt is giving you multiple opportunities, they're making it hard for the opponent to score, that can really get the front court going. Good coverage.
Maciejewicz, the NC State libero, and both liberos going point for point here. Great plays.
And how about Villar with the 180 beach swing, just finding enough of that seam. Kerr just a little bit late getting over there. But these are the kind of rallies that particularly Clemson really needs to feed on. They need to stay in the point past one or two swings.
Villar, such a leader on this team. Service error here. One of their top servers.
The matchup right here is Ring against McGrath. I would expect some right side offense coming from the Wolfpack, possibly something in the middle with Frankham. That's more a lot of fruit.
Only one option here because of the pass, and Smith able to shoulder the responsibility this time.
Yeah, just out. Going on the outside high hand. Well, I think Hansen wants that back. She knows if she turns that outside hand just a little bit more, maybe she gets a stuff block there.
It's clobbering time! Good pass.
Oh, wow. So NC State is getting wise to the offense of Clemson right here on a good pass. Sant loves to set the middle. That has bore fruit in the first set. She's trying to get back to that. That's also feeding into the blocking of NC State because they're recognizing it as well. A double block against a one-on-one first tempo in the middle tells you that they're just selling out to stop that.
It's now 5 blocks already for Frankham. Speaking of blocks, Nil Okur.
Yeah, Clemson has done a good job when NC State has gone high tempo or out of system to the right side. They've closed the block well. I think if I'm NC State, I'm out of system. I'm probably setting the back row to Vonder, and she's had a lot of success coming out of the pipe in those situations. And this is something we saw in the first set when Clemson started to kind of claw back and get their lead, was the net presence, good serving, blocking the out of system of the Wolfpack.
And a big back spinning dig off of Luma. It's a live arm for Courtney Bryant.
Boy, I don't think we can overstate how good Bryant has been from last year to this year. Just the jump coming in, we're seeing more assertiveness consistently. The confidence has grown, but a shot like that in a moment like that, let's just stop any momentum that Clemson might be getting.
What a quick second jump, but Sant and the Tigers defend.
Oh my. Boy, great defensive effort from both teams. Great coverage. We saw a lot of deny blocks during that rally. And here you have Gilden yelling hole, and that hole closed quickly as she was calling a shot from McGrath. Great reaction from NC State's block.
Free ball. Can Clemson capitalize? Need a point. They don't get it. Smith and Cropper rejected again. Wow.
Just a great read by Cropper. You expected that ball to go maybe to the middle.
Hitting over 300.
Yeah, and she has scored in timely spots. I can count 3 or 4 of the kills she's had that have come after long rallies or after Clemson has been on a little bit of a roll. Tight set.
Yep, someone was in the net. It was Hansen.
Yeah, as soon as that ball left the hands of Gilden, immediately knew that was a trap set. You're going to put your attacker in a tough spot. And she knows. She kind of tapped her chest and said, my bad.
So many players converging on that. Thought maybe both sides were in the net. Hansen whistled for it here. NC State's open up a 5-point lead, and McGrath comes flying through to get a much-needed kill for Clemson.
I absolutely love this play call. This is the first time we've seen a combination play with the outside hitters for Clemson coming into the middle, hitting the high 2 ball. You got to respect Symington on the 31. Just a different look for the Tigers.
You said earlier, it's not a vanilla offense, and they can give you some really interesting looks.
Well, typically that's what they do. We hadn't seen a lot of it tonight. You know, their left sides have pretty much stayed on the left side. They haven't really moved people around very often. And this is a great time in this moment, in this match, to start a little bit more of that. Move your hitters around, just present something different for the Wolfpack defense. And, you know, Cropper continues to be doing what she does in her opportunities. Boy, when she's one-on-one, she's impressive, Andrew.
There's no doubt. Hitting 500 on the night.
Oh, wow. The first swing by now.
McGrath tried to go with the tip, under hit it.
Yeah, again, bringing the outside hitter to the inside, running more of a 32 ball. A little bit of a high set. That tip was there. I think when she left her hand, I thought it might score. A little too deep on the dump.
Just got a scoring update, by the way, from our producer, Lucas Raycroft. Pitt did just win set 3, so it is 2-1.
Watch out for the Panthers. If you kick the cage, they're going to come back at you. But both teams really well coached. Should be a battle. And, you know, Clemson has had plays like that, Andrew, where they've served tough, got NC State kind of out of sorts, out of rhythm, followed up with good blocking, but it just hasn't happened enough. And NC State has been able to point score when they're out of system enough to really kind of stop any comeback of Clemson. Now that ace, that helps. But we need a bigger sample size. Clemson has to do more of that and follow it up with good defense if they want to come back here in this match.
Forelli in the front row makes the most of it.
And that was just not paying attention. The Clemson block has to recognize that Forelli is a front row setter in this situation, and anything tight with a front row setter, you have to go up and challenge.
Saw the respect that Symington was giving Bryant right there, already kind of sliding over that way, and the freshman, redshirt freshman, Forelli,
tight
with the point. Off the free ball. NC State ready for the setter, going over quick.
But again, that's the third hesitation play after a great up. They've been moving their hitters around. That's something new and can bear fruit. They just haven't been able to get good swings in those opportunities. And of course, a pass like that won't help the cause, but credit Bryant. Boy, you mentioned it earlier, Andrew. She has been so effective tonight, not only leading all point scorers and kills, but from the service line, blocking at the net. She is really kind of setting the tone for the whole match.
And hits the deck to keep it up. Sant with options, and they'll get it off the block.
Yeah, I tried to force one quick to Symington and was really low and then underset. Sant realizes it. She says, my bad, right away. Put her hitter in a bad situation there, but they come away with the point. This is the rotation with no libero. Expect NC State to target balls and hit toward left back at number 15.
Ring reaches back and fires a fastball that leads NC State to set point.
Smart shot going to the deep 5-6 seam, trying to split McGrath and Symington. Heads up play by the freshman.
McGrath tips, but point not there.
Wow. Very fortunate for Clemson to survive that point. I think when you're facing set point against your opponent on their floor, I think if you get too tip happy, you're kind of flirting with fire. So would love to see more aggressive swings from the Tigers in this situation.
NC State takes set 3 on a Tigers service error. She was the first.
Pat Hilscher came here and they were on staff. Pat Hilscher actually was the first coach for UNCG, UNC Greensboro, and led that program in the early to mid 70s. Then came here, then went to Wisconsin when Kay Yao took over. Little history there for you. Wasn't here long.
I'll go for bonus points next match.
That's the volleyball historian nerd in me coming to the surface right there.
I love a good history lesson.
Yeah. Shout out to Pat Hilscher, who's probably watching this match. She still follows NC State volleyball.
Clemson trying to put the last couple sets as ancient history. Put it behind them. Play more like they did in set 1.
Oh, wow. That time, just a little bit of hesitation in coverage. That ball is high off the block. But we're seeing the recipe take shape again for Clemson. When they're successful, it's aggressive serving, aggressive attacking, and following up with good blocking.
Just a little hesitancy from NC State. That's been something they've been working on. Associate head coach Jeremiah Ganadakis saying he's really been preaching to the team about taking ownership of the point. Let's not focus on if it was you or me that should have made the play. Let's make the play, take ownership of it, and then maybe after the point I can go to you and say, Corey, that's got to be your ball. You know, I mean, I shouldn't have to make that play for you, but I'm gonna. And just in general, with again so many young players, don't leave anything to doubt. Taking ownership of the match, play to play, point to point.
A lot of that comes with inexperience and youth, Andrew, because just like other team sports, when you play next to someone for a longer period of time, you start to learn to trust what they're going to do, anticipate their moves and so forth. And when you're younger, you're still trying to figure that out. This game goes so fast that I love the points you made. The conversation of who's going to go needs to happen between points, after points. Hey, are you going to get that? Okay. And then you know and can move on. But during live play, you just have to go. Anything that's coming in your zone, you have to be really aggressive and just make a play.
It takes a while to build chemistry, right?
Sure. Oh, great save. Yep. And we're seeing the longer the rally goes, the last couple of points, it's favored Clemson. They're getting more aggressive swings. We see Bianca Martinez in the middle getting her first start of this fourth set, took a couple good swings. So mixing up personnel a little bit. But it's about getting quality swing after quality swing. That's how you keep the pressure on your opponent.
We'll see if we get a challenge here. Line judge did not have a touch, but it is called a touch, point Clemson. NC State, the players on the court not really asking for it. Coach Wargo Kearney will not challenge.
Now it's kind of a split by the line judges. The near line judge, no touch. The far line judge, signal touch. But
big swing.
Oh my. And we talked about during the break, the biggest question for the Clemson Tigers coming into set 4 was going to be manufacturing offense. How can they score offensively? They make an adjustment or a lineup change, putting Martinez in the middle, getting her a couple looks early. We've seen a back row attack go to full swing one-on-one from McGrath. So they obviously talked about some things they could tweak and polish and change offensively to get more points. Good serve.
And that, when you have no options, is an area in which NC State has been very good, but Cropper and Villar that time unable to prevent the Clemson attack. Bianca Martinez, as you noted, has made a nice impact in this fourth set, but service error here and will now check out.
Yeah, when you're cold off the bench, especially middles who don't serve more than maybe once in a term, it's about getting that first one in, right?
Yeah.
Then you can kind of get in a rhythm.
Herta sneaks it through the block.
Oh my.
The whistle came late. It is Clemson point. And that's why NC State's kind of protesting, saying, hey, that whistle came late. Are we going to replay here, Coach?
We're going to get a replay. It was an inadvertent whistle. The R1, the up official, thought that the ball was going down. It actually hit the lower leg, I believe, of Frankham and played on, which being the first contact over the net, you're allowed to double contact the ball.
Right. I thought there might have been a lift, which that's why I thought initially the whistle came.
Right.
This is why being an official is hard, right? Because you are allowed to double contact. There was a double contact, but I thought it kind of stuck. Let's see if we can get a look here.
Well, and his vision was shielded because the back of Frankham was to him and the ball was being blocked, or blocked his view rather. And then the R2, his focus is the net in that situation. So it's kind of a difficult spot, right? I don't think either official had a great look at what the ball actually did.
It is nice that, and that happens in every sport. There's a call, and if it was,
Sure.
It is nice that in volleyball, as an official, you don't want to do it, but that you do have the option to say, hey, we're gonna replay.
Yeah, and that was the right call in that situation. Both officials quickly looked at each other, realized that was an early inadvertent whistle. But you're right, there aren't many sports that have the my bad, let's just play that whole play over again card. Wow. And great swing from Mia Moore, getting her first action as well. So absolutely love the assertiveness we're seeing from the attackers of Clemson, knowing what's on the line here in set 4. They're coming out really aggressive, attacking the block smartly. Good rip there from Bryant. Oh, boy, Okur wants that one back. Just sometimes your eyes get big and you see that freebie and you just collide with the transitioning setter.
Moore, another swing, you bet. Mia Moore, the senior from Frisco, Texas, having a career year. Now 111 kills on the year, a single season best.
Well, she's averaging almost 2.5 kills per set, which is pretty healthy in her own right. A little surprising we haven't seen her until this point. Boy, the service errors for Clemson have just come at bad times so far in the match. When you're going to be assertive serving, of course you expect a few of those errors, but they seem to be momentum killers.
And really limited those in the first set.
Yep.
And been a lot more as this match has shifted. Clemson trying to put it back in their favor, playing better here in the 4th set, making some adjustments, both personnel and X's and O's.
Boy, making Villar work in the backcourt.
Big swing from Jordan Smith to cut it to 1.
Well, we haven't called her name terribly often tonight, but Jordan Smith has come up with some kills in key moments at the end of long rallies when NC State needed the point. Wow. How good is that? First, I don't know if you'd call that an intentional deflection by Frankham. Kind of went off the noggin a little bit and that blocking rep, but basically gave her backcourt a free ball transition opportunity. She held the block in transition, leaving Bryant one-on-one on the outside. That's why those plays are so successful. Oh, wow.
Comes right to Bryant. Deflects off her and over. Wow. Moore, another time.
Yeah. I think they've really got something cooking with Moore here on the right side since this set started. Out of system, high swing, and look at the length and the angle. Very difficult play for Villar to make. If you can hit that opposite tee cross court. Wow, what a save. McGrath.
It's tight. Oh, Villar kept it out of net. Mark that if NC State wins this point. Another chance for the Tigers. Stopped! Smith and Frankham.
Oh, I credit NC State's defense for winning that point. Not just the stop block at the end, but how many times did we see a member of the Wolfpack just making a great defensive effort to extend the rally? Great stuff from NC State.
That's the second time we've seen McGrath go left hand, and this time it works.
Well, she had to in that situation. That ball was set so tight and dying fast. And so far, McGrath has not had a lot of success when she's kind of stopped her arm and gone off speed. But that time, finding the hardwood.
McGrath with a southpaw sneak.
Boy, so far, the new kids on the block here in set 4, Martinez and Moore, have been really fueling the Tiger comeback.
Villar reloads and finds Smith.
Yeah, smart adjustment by Smith. Kind of a hop and pop play, we'd call that in our gym. Quick transition. Finding that seam, and you saw Martinez just late. Tight pass. But I tell you, Andrew, the last 4 serves from NC State have gone at the libero Gilden, and she has struggled on each of those reps. I think NC State's going to continue to target her and prove that she can improve her passing. There's another one. But McGrath trying to do too much, trying to thread the line. The alley is there, but overswung. I want to go back again to that point. Gilden is a little out of sorts right now. NC State's cooking in her kitchen. She's just kind of overthinking things and not really in a good rhythm passing. Expect this ball to go right back at her. Now they move her to the middle. Still again.
Has it sent back. And the senior from Omaha, Bianca Martinez, has the answer this time.
Boy, and you had Villar made a great recognition that Sant was late recovering as a right front blocker, but Martinez was there nonetheless.
Cropper misses the slide. Tigers first to 15. That 4. Now, all those, remember when we showed you that graphic earlier? It started this weekend of play. 7 teams at 2 and 4. I see a lot of 2 and 5s now all of a sudden. So a win would be big to create some separation over not 1 or 2, but a handful of teams. Meanwhile, Clemson looking for that thus far elusive first ACC win. It's on the line. Big one here in Raleigh. Farrelly in, setting. That ball was down, and it was down by a lot. And yeah, this is just gonna, no challenge needed. The R1, Randy McLeod is just gonna overrule. It can be tough as a line judge when the ball is coming right at you. And obviously you can't see where it finishes from that angle, but yeah, that ball, I don't think it hit the line. It's
pretty obvious.
It was very in. That ball is out on a touch. Nothing Courtney Bryant can do about that swing. Herta makes it 16 all.
Well, this is going to come down to a few out-of-system plays, maybe an overpass or point-scoring opportunity is going to really separate who's going to win this set. Both teams are trading punches and both teams are clicking offensively. Great swing there by Cropper. When that's been in rhythm, it's been unstoppable so far tonight. No libero for NC State. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is
night. First called timeout for either team here in the 4th set. Sant does tremendously well to prevent that from being an ace. But Vondren still earns the point for NC State.
Yeah, just too long for Sant to hustle back to her blocking base. Good recognition by Farrelly. Set the ball outside, a late block. Vondren's going to be one-on-one or one-on-none. Yep, under call. Raines hustling, trying to make something happen there. How about this? Service pressure at Gilden had bore fruit. The last couple of serves have gone to Raines.
They got to play in Maples at Stanford. This is a big point here. Clemson out of timeouts, down 4. And the tip doesn't work.
Unforced errors in those spots are a killer. You have to make the defense play.
They'll go to Herta. McGrath back row, needed it and got it.
Boy, and you really felt how big the last two rallies have been. And to that point, Andrew, kind of a last gasp here for Clemson. They need a mini run in the worst way. Swings like that can help. Tight ball. Yep. Tough spot there for Sand. Transitioning back row setter. She can't block. You just hope that one of your teammates can make a play, but that over dig really just fed the beast here. And now NC State see some blood in the water, 3 points away. The service pressure.
Well, Moore started off this set so strong, but this time NC State has an answer.
Well, it's the serving. NC State is on pace to win this set in the match because of what they've done the last 10 to 12 points from the service line.
They have been the last couple of years a top 5 serving team in the ACC. They felt like that would continue this year, despite the youth, despite all that they're replacing. Felt like they could still serve tough. And not that they didn't serve all right in set 1, but they have, as you astutely put, right before the start of the second set, you said they have another gear. We'll see if they can reach that level, and they have.
They really have. I mean, you have to tip your cap to Clemson coming in, breaking that seal, getting the first set win. That's something to build on, but you really have to applaud NC State coming back in striking fashion and the way they have to dominate the rest of the match.
And NC State takes the match. Back-to-back ACC wins for the first time this season for the Wolfpack. They start off the 4th weekend of ACC play with a 4-set win over